Hello everyone. I once again welcome you all to my YouTube channel English Banisa. So students, in today's video we are going to see types of pronoun. In the last video to pronoun we have already discussed what are pronouns and why we use pronouns, why can't we directly use nouns. So as we have discussed in the last video to pronoun, pronouns are the words which are used in place of a noun, which makes our sentence simpler and shorter. And we have also seen three reasons why we use pronoun. The three reasons are: when we don't know the identity of a noun, we use pronoun, and sometimes we know the identity of a noun, but instead of that, we use pronoun there. And the last one, and the very important rule is the type to avoid the repetition of noun, we use pronouns. So, if you want to see that in detail, you can watch the last video to pronoun. The link is provided in under this video's description box. So, let's start our video today's. Let's see the types of pronoun. So today we are going to see personal pronouns and reflexive pronoun because it is given in degree first sem syllabus. The other types of pronoun we'll see later. So let's start our first personal pronouns. So first let us know why we call it personal pronoun to personal pronoun here. Because person is nothing but it is a noun, and by adding al to it, it become personal pronoun, which is act as a adjective which shows the quality. So adjective verb is to show the quality of a noun. So this personal pronoun are stand for the three person, that are first person which is a speaker, second person is spoken to, and the third person is spoken of and about. So here we are using pronoun in place of a noun. So obviously we use singular and plural case. So here in the first person speaker, for the singular one we use I. This is the pronoun, and with the plural we use we. And while we are using plural pronoun, there we have to use plural verb. Like if we are using I, we can say I am writing, I am eating. But when we are using the term we, there we have to use the plural verb which is are. We are eating, we are going, like that. Now let's see the second person pronoun which is spoken to, with whom we are speaking. Here you we have to use along with the singular, and plural also we have to use the term you only. And what verb we have to take along with this singular you? Can I say how is you? No, we cannot say. So along with either this you is a singular or plural, we have to use the verb are here. How are you? So along with this singular you or either plural you, we have to use the plural verb which is are. So here in the third person spoken of or spoken about, here we have to define the gender. If we are using a singular this third person pronoun, here we have to shows the singular pronoun, and this along with this plural third person pronoun we have to use the plural verb which is are. So if we are using he, which is a masculine gender, we have to use the verb is, he is. And if we are using she, so you have to use the singular verb which is, and which is this she is a feminine gender, and along with it also which is a neuter gender, we have to use the verb is. And if we are using the plural pronoun which is they, along with this they we have to use are, which is a plural verb. Now let us see in detail, you will get more clarity. So as we have discussed, personal pronoun stand for the three person. So first let's see this I, that is a speaker, because here we have discussed the first person is speaker, which is obviously I. So here along with this I, when we are using the term I in the present tense, we have to use the plural verb which is am or have. I have this pen, I have some work, I am writing, like that. So these are the plural verbs. When we are using the in this I in the present tense, means in the present time, we have to use this plural verb am and have. Like I am eating, I have my work. Now, if we are taking this I, if we are using this I in the past tense, we have to use this verb which is a singular verb which is was. I was eating. And if I were, this is a conditional statement. Of course, we use was along with this I, but when we are using conditional statement, that time we have to use were. If I were a butterfly, like that. So remember, students, this thing. If we are using the term I in the present tense, we have to use these plural verbs am and have. And if we are using the term I in the past tense, we have to use the singular verb which is was. Like I was eating, I was going. And for you, we'll see later. Now let us see this one. So here also in this he and she, if we are using he and she in the present tense, we have to use the term has, which is a singular verb. And if we are using this he and she term in the past tense, we have to use the singular verb which is was. She has my book, she has my pen, like that we can use this term has, which is a singular verb. And this one, she was eating, she was sleeping, she was going, like that we can take. And along with this they, I and we, which is a plural, so we have to use the term have in the present tense. And so already this I we have discussed here. So here you can see already we have used I in the present tense, have we have used. So when we are talking about the present tense along with this they, I and we have to use this plural verb which is have. And if we are talking about past tense, we have to use along with this they, I and we the plural verb which is were. Like example, we can say they have some work, I have some work, we have some work. But if we are talking about past, we can say they were doing their work, we were doing our work. And for I, if we are talking about past, we have to use was, not were, along with this I. This I we have to use was. Along with this they and we can use were, but along with I we have to use was. So I hope it is clear for you which verb you have to use along with which pronoun. Now let us see this type of personal pronouns. So in the personal pronoun, there are three types of personal pronoun: nominative case, which is also called subjective case, and the second one accusative case, which is also called objective case, and the third one is genetic case, which is called possessive case. Now let us see each one of them in detail. So when do we use this nominative or subjective case? When the pronoun is the subject of the sentence, we use this subjective case. Like for example, I, we, these are the subjective pronouns. You, he, she, and it, they. These are the terms when we know the person, when we know the pronoun, but sometimes we don't know who is there. That also called pronouns. You can see in the first video to pronoun, like we called someone is knocking at the door. At that time also this is called the subjective case. All are doing well, this is also called the subjective case. Like here we can use this word I can go, so this is the subject because here the subject is doing something, so we called it subjective pronoun. And here also it is beautiful because we are talking about something, so that come under this subjective case. It will be easy for you if you know the structure of the sentence. The structure of the sentence is subject plus verb plus object. This is the structure of the sentence. So after verbs objects will follow, before verbs subjects will follow. Let's see in detail this subjective case. So where we have to use this subjective case? Generally some sentences start with subjects, that's why it works as a subjective case, or also we can say subjective pronoun. Let's see some example. Like first one, me went there. Is it correct to say? No, it is wrong. We usually say I went there. So this subject we have to use first. The second example, him is my best friend. Him, which is the objective case, so we cannot use it before verb. So this is also wrong. The correct sentence will be he is my best friend. This is the subjective pronoun. Me don't know. We don't say this sentence. I don't know. This is a subjective pronoun. So here we all know it is basic. We all are aware of it. Let's move further. Let's see this one, better than I or better than me. So which is correct, better than I or better than me? I think better than me. He is better than me is correct because internet say this only, no, better than me. But book says better than I. So which one is correct here? Let's see the reason. So here he is better than I or he is better than me. Both are correct. When we prepare US English, which is American English, based on which whole internet is working, which give preference to me here. When we prefer British English, which is our competitive English, here we have to use the term I, better than I. So the people who like formal English, they give preference to I, and who like informal English, they follow better than me. So here both are correct, better than I we also can say, and better than me. So here British English write better than I, and our competitive exam also belongs to British English because unfortunately we were under British rule. So we have to follow this only. But Americans follow their own variations. So both are correct. When it comes to American or conversational English, which means informal English, we have to follow this better than me. And in our daily life conversation, it is odd to use better than I. We should say better than me. And when we are comparing the two subjects, at that time we have to use the subjective case in the formal English. In informal English, we can say better than me, but in informal English, we have to use the subjective case. She is better than I am. So here you can see, students, for this one, she is better than I am. Here, if we are comparing two subjects, which she is a subject and I is also subject, when we are comparing two subjects, we have to use this one. We have to follow this order. When we are comparing two objects, we have to use the objective case. Like she respects you more than me. These two objects, when we are comparing objects, and we are comparing possession, we have to use the possessive pronoun. Like his car is bigger than, what we have to use here? I, me, and mine. His car is bigger than I. Can I say this? No, we cannot say this because his car is bigger than mine. My car, which is mine here. So the correct answer is mine. His car is bigger than mine. We cannot say his car bigger than I and his car is bigger than me. We cannot say this. His car is bigger than mine. So basically it is important to know when we are comparing two subjects, we have to use subjective case after than, and we are comparing two objects, we have to use objective case. When we are comparing possession, we have to use possessive pronoun. Now let us see the objective pronoun. So here, students, objective case, when the pronoun is the object of the sentence, is called as objective case. Like that, I become me, us become this one, we become us, you become you only, he become him, she become her, and they become them. For example, she taught me how to speak her language. Here this she, which is acting as a subject, and this she will become here her. But we are talking about this object, so this one, this is the object, me. And here we went to Golconda with them. This is also object. Let us see this objective case in detail. So here in generally in short sentences we can easily find subject and object. But when the sentence become long and complex, it is not easy to do the parsing of the sentence. So we should follow some basic to know the different parts of the speech. So as I told you, this is the structure of the sentence, which is the subject plus verb plus object. First subject will follow in a sentence, then verb. After verbs, objects will follow. This is the structure of the sentence. Now here, for the objective case, we use in two places, like where after verb we follow objective case, which is object, and after preposition also we follow the objects. So in English language, objective case always come after verbs and preposition. 99.9% out of 100 objects follow after verb and preposition. So here if I want to substitute this subject plus verb plus object in the sentence, we can follow this order. I, which is a subject. saw, which is a verb, and him, which is the object. So usually we follow this structure in English. Let us see some more examples. So here students, let, which is a verb. So this let is a verb here. And remember one thing, after verbs objects will follow, not subjects. So let's see these examples. Let I go or let me go, which is correct? Can we say let I go? Because this is the verb, and after verb here we can see after verbs objects will follow in the structure of the sentence. So this is wrong to say let I go. The correct one is let me go. We have to use objects after verb. Now let us see the second one. Let we help. Have you heard this before? Let we help? No, this is a wrong one. Let us help, because us is the object of we. That's why after verb we have to follow objects. This will be a correct answer. She said to I or she said to me. What we say? She said, because it is a preposition, and you can see here after preposition we are following objects. So to is a preposition. After preposition we have to follow object, not a subject. So this is also wrong. She said to me. This is preposition and this is will be a object. This is preposition. And also we say listen to I. We don't say this listen to I, we say listen to me, because after preposition we follow object. So here remember, after verb we follow object, and after preposition too we follow the objective case. So now let's see this third one, possessive pronouns. Here this possessive pronoun shows the possession, which means the belongings of the person. So the term we use along with this possessive pronoun are mine, yours, hers, his, and ours. So here for example, this book is mine. Here it shows the belonging. This book is belongs to me. That's why I'm saying here this book is mine. So this is called the possessive pronoun. It is our city or this city is our, which is possessive pronoun here. This city is ours. This one is the possessive pronoun. Then what we call to this our city? This is a possessive adjective. We'll see this one in the, now let's see this. So here we can see possessive adjective. Possessive adjective also shows ownership, like possession, same as we have discussed here. This one possessive pronoun. Here possessive pronoun shows the possession or belongings, like this city is ours, this book is mine. In the same way, this possessive adjectives too shows the belonging and ownership of a noun. So the noun belonging something, so that possession and ownership shows by this possessive adjective as well as possessive pronouns. They are placed before the noun, so that is owned and possessed. So students, as we have discussed here in the possessive pronouns, this book is mine, which is the possessive pronoun, but this is my book, which is the possessive adjective, because this my which shows the possession, my book. This is called possessive adjective. Though these both the sentences are giving the same meaning, either we can use the possessive pronoun or we can use the possessive adjective. Both will give the correct meaning. This house is ours, this is our house. So here this house is ours, which is the possessive pronoun, which is a possessive pronoun here, and this is our house. This our house which shows the possessive adjective. So these possessive adjective and possessive pronouns which shows ownership and possession of a noun. Let me explain you clearly. If you see this video, you will learn this clearly. Let's see the cases of pronoun here. So here in the subjective pronoun, we use the term I with the first person. If we are talking about single person, then we use I. If we are talking about plural, we have to use the term we. And this I and we in the objective pronoun will become me and us. This I become me and this we become us in the object. And in the possessive pronoun, this I become mine and this us and we become ours, and possessive adjective become my and our house, our college, our city, my college, my city, my house, like that. These are called possessive adjective. We show after this my and our noun should be there. That's why it's called possessive adjective, because adjective shows the quality of a noun. That's why it's come before the noun. This one. And these pronouns which take place of a noun. This pronouns takes noun's place. This reflexive pronoun we'll see later. So here in the second person, in the subject place we have to use you, and in the object place also this you only will come. Why, we see it later. And this you become yours in possessive pronoun. Like this house is yours. This book is yours. And this in possessive adjective we are not using s here. Simply we are saying your. This is your book. This is your college. This is your house. So after this after this possessive adjective, we need to mention a noun here. Now let's see this third person singular. If we are talking about the singular pronoun like he, which is a subjective pronoun, we use the term he, and this he will become him when we talk about in the object. So in the objective pronoun it will become him. Like for example, he is eating or he is jumping, we can say this is a subjective pronoun. But she hurt him, this will come at the object place. We cannot say she hurt he, we cannot say like that. We say she hurt him, she killed him. This he become him when we use this in object side. And after verb object will follow. If after verb you have to use this objective pronoun. Now this object, this he become his when we are showing the possession and pronoun. Like we can say this is his book, this his car. And in the possessive adjective also we use the term his only. Now for she we use the term her. In the objective case it will become this she become her, and this in the possessive pronoun this her become hers, and this again here we use the term her. Like it is her college. So after this her we need to mention a noun here. But here no need to mention any noun because it's take the place of noun. This college is hers. Directly we can say this. But here her college. Here we need to mention a noun in the possessive adjective. And along with this it, in the subjective pronoun we use the term it. And here in object also it will become like that only, it only. And this possessive pronoun it's, and here in the possessive adjectives also it's. Now let's see the third person plural. Here we were talking about singular, here we are talking about plural. So here third person obviously we use they in the subject place. So here we use the term them. You can see here students, in the first person we, along this we which we use in the subjective pronoun, this will change to us in the object. So here this they which is we use in the subjective pronoun which will become them in the object case, and this them which become theirs in the possessive pronouns. Like we can say this college is theirs, this house is theirs. And here this possessive adjective, this is their college, this is their house. So students, it is very important to know the cases of pronoun because it is very useful in to change the voices. Because in active and passive voice what you have to do, all in all you have to change the subject and object. So it is very important. There are some rules and regulation of personal pronouns. Let us see them as well. So generally we put words in order and move. But in any language there are some order to follow to put the words together. Let's see that order. So generally if we write grammatically something, we pick words and write in order and move forward even though we don't know the grammar. So in English we follow this pattern: subject plus verb plus object. Like we say I, him, saw, we cannot say. We have to say I, which is a subject, saw, which is a verb, and him. I saw him. We cannot say I, him, saw. So in the same way for pronouns also there are some rules. Let us see the first rule, which is we have to follow this 2, 3, 1, which is second person. This is the third person, and then we have to shows the first person. When we are showing the positivity, unity, and singular pronoun in a sentence, we have to follow this rule. This structure we have to follow 2, 3, and 1. And if we are showing the negativity and division and plural pronoun in our sentence, we have to use this structure, which is 1, 2, 3, which is the singular pronoun, and this is first person, second person, and the third person. Let's see each one in detail along with examples so that it will be clear for you. If we are talking about this rule, the 2, 3, and 1, so when we achieve something in our life, we give credit to the second person and then to the third person. Then finally we say our name. So there we have to follow this rule 2, 3, and 1. But when we are showing the negativity, we use this structure 1, 2, and 3 order. So you might have seen a cricket match. The cricket team, either it will win or lose. The captain will never say because of me that team win, but he say my team play well. So here he give credit to the others, because here he was talking about the positivity and unity. That's why he was using this structure, which is 2, 3, and 1. But when the same team lost, we never heard by saying a captain that because of that so and so person we lost, but he take it as his mistake, and the captain may have to resign from there. So it is must to follow the pronoun order, that is 2, 3, 1 in positivity, unity, and singularity, and 1, 2, 3 in case of negativity, division, and plurality sentence. So now let's see some examples of this rule 1 where we have to follow the order 2, 3, and 1. Let's see the first example. I and he are friends. Is it a correct one? No, here it is a wrong one, because here we are talking about positivity. So here we have to follow this order 2, 3, and 1. So we have to say he and I are friends. He and I. He and I we have to use here. He and I are friends. So here you can see third person is not here. So sorry, second person is not here. So you have to use the third person and the first person, which is third person and first person. He and I. Now let's see the second example. I, you, and she can manage this situation. Students, see this carefully, because this type of sentence you will get in your exercises, textbook exercises. So here again you can see here we are talking about the positivity and unity. That's why we have to follow this structure 2, 3, and 1. So the correct order will be, we have to follow first second person, which is you, then third person, which is she, and I. You, she, and I can manage this situation. That will be a correct sentence. This is the wrong one. Now let us see the third one. You and I want to help the poor. Here we are talking about the unity as well as positivity. That's why we are taking this is the correct only. Second person first, then first person, because there is no third person here. That's why we are using this order, second and first person. So this one is the correct one. Now let us see the second order. So in under this rule, already I taught you where we have to show the negativity, division, and plural pronouns. We have to follow this order 1, 2, and 3. So you and I love committed crime. So you can see here students, crime, which is a negative term. So if we are showing the negative sentence, so at that time we have to follow this order. You and I is not correct. First we have to use the first person, which is I. I and you love committed crime. I and you, not this one. First we have to use I, then you. Now let us see the second one. You, we, you, and they are leaving for Mumbai. So this is the correct one, because when we are using this plural pronouns, here we have to use this one, first person, second person, then third person order. We, which is the first person, you, which is the second, and they, which are the third person pronoun. So this order is correct. Now let us see the third one. I and you will be punished. Here again this is the correct because punishment it is a negative term. So we are using first person pronoun because we are following this order. So this sentence is the correct one.